Hello, my friends. I wanted to come on here live because I had something I wanted to share. I was reading a book this morning with a friend of mine. We're reading The Mountain Is You. If you haven't read this book, this one's super powerful. It's about self-sabotage. But something that we read this morning that I teach on a consistent basis, and this says it in such a good way. But like I said, the last few teaching containers that I did, I spoke on this specifically because this is what happens. We wait. I'll share my thoughts afterwards. But so I'm currently, I can't remember what chapter we're in. If you have the book, 1 or 110, and the author is Brianna Wiest. This is the book, The Mountain Is You. Anyway, 110. I don't know what chapter. Anyway. But it says you don't change in breakthroughs, you change in micro shifts. And this is the thing. We tend to believe that I'll read. Alanna, just read the book. I mean, I could share my insights. But if you're stuck in life, it's probably because you're waiting for the big bang and the breakthrough moment in which all your fears dissolve and you overcome with clarity. The work that needs to happen happens effortlessly. Your personal transformation rips you from complacency and you wake up an entirely new existence. Isn't that so freaking true? We all expect to receive clarity and guidance, and we're all waiting. We're all waiting for this moment of, oh, this is it. This is the big breakthrough, whether it's winning the lottery, whether it's creating a business, we're waiting for that one moment that's going to create this huge shift for us. And that doesn't happen. And this is what I'm talking about. This moment will never come. Breakthroughs do not happen spontaneously. They're tipping points. And this is what happens in the teachings that I do, or the other, when you're in work with people, you have these aha moments, these micro awarenesses that keep us moving forward. But it's not meant for us to have this breakthrough moment and things change forever in our life. I'll keep reading. Revelations occur when ideas that are sitting in the margins of your mind finally get enough attention to dominate your thoughts. These are the clicking moments that you finally understand advice that you've heard in your entire life. This is why you hear things over and over and you're like, it didn't really click. I've read another book I'm reading. I read lots, and I read with people because I'm not so great at reading on my own and consistently. So if I have accountability, I always show up. You Too Can Be Prosperous is another book I'm reading with a colleague. And that's it. It's like I've read this book probably 5 or 6 times at least. And this time we're reading it through, I've had more aha moments and this is so good. I've highlighted more in this slide because I now highlight my books as I read them. I now have highlighted more of this book in this one read through than I've highlighted ever in the entire time I've read it 5 other times. Anyway, this is what I mean. So this is exactly what happened when we were reading this book this morning. I kept stopping in the middle of sentences and paragraphs. Anyway, like I said, rambling moments. The moments so let me go back. These are the clicking moments, the moments where you finally understand advice you've heard your entire life. You may have heard it over and over, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, or somebody says it differently, and you're like, oh. The moments when you've habituated yourself to a pattern of behavior for long enough that it becomes instinctive. So it's like we've had these patterns in our life that we keep reoccurring, and it just takes that one moment, that one shift where it's like, oh, now I get it. And you have a micro shift. A mind-blowing singular breakthrough is not what changes your life. You can't have transformation from one moment because our life is consistent patterns, is consistent habits. A micro shift is what happens. Breakthroughs are what happens after hours and days of years of mundane, monotonous work. But a mind-blowing singular breakthrough is not what changes your life. A micro shift is. As a writer and a media strategist, Ryan Holiday noted, epiphanies are not life-altering. It's not a radical moment of action, and this is it. It's not about one big shift because we can't consistently continue that momentum as a human being in a healthy way. It doesn't happen. It's not a radical moment of action that gives us long-lasting, permeating change. It's restructuring our habits. The idea of what science philosopher Thomas Kahn dubbed as the paradigm shift. Kahn suggested that we don't change our lives in flashes of brilliance, but through slow process in which assumptions unravel and we acquire new explanations. It's these periods of flux that micro shifts happen and breakthrough level change happens and takes shape. So it's not literally about one transformational shift. We all expect, we live in a microwave society, I'm so sorry, but we anticipate things happening like that, and it just doesn't. That's not how this works. We decide to make change. And this is what I do in my coaching containers, or any coaching containers that you're in, if you're in the right space. You have aha moment after aha moment, which creates these micro shifts. But if you don't put yourself in the container, you'll never get them, or you'll have them sporadically. And it's implementing those consistently over time. And this is why coaching containers are so freaking powerful, because one, you're seeing micro shifts consistently instead of just waiting for them to happen. You're putting yourself in a space where they happen consistently, repeatedly, and then you're implementing those changes, those micro shifts, and you're taking action on them, which creates the shift, which creates transformation. Anyway, think of micro shifts as tiny increments of change in your day-to-day life. As a micro shift is changing you, is like changing what you eat for one part of one meal just one time. That's a micro shift. You do it once, micro shift. Then it's doing it again the second time and the third. Before you realize what's happening, you've adopted a new pattern of behavior. And this is exactly what we do in coaching containers. And this is literally what transforms your life. But it doesn't need to take a long period of time. I've worked with people that have over 5 weeks have had more change in their life than they've had in years of therapy. So it is so friggin' powerful to find a space, whether it's with me or someone else, where you have the opportunity to receive micro shifts and receive changes consistently and implement those changes and action those changes and have support. Because sometimes, like I said, I don't read on a consistent basis when I'm doing it by myself, but when I have accountability partners where I need to read, we get through the book. It takes time, but it happens a lot faster with somebody than it ever would on my own. So these are the micro shifts I wanted to talk about. The other thing I want to share is every Thursday, I'm going to open up space. It's called Open Space with Alanna. Very simple, very easy. It's free. It's literally just, I want to continue these conversations and these aha moments and share these thoughts. So every Thursday at, 10 a.m. Eastern, I have a Zoom that's open. And if anyone wants to join it, I know people work during the day, but if you have some time or you want to take your lunch break at that time, and I know it's early for lunch, and it's actually 11 o'clock our time. So in 40 minutes from now, I'm going to be on Zoom, and if anybody wants to join me, and I'm going to do it every Wednesday, and I'm going to share these aha moments live as they show up, and it's called Open Space with Alanna, and because I want to open space for more of these conversations, and we're just going to show up, and it doesn't matter if you have something to share, if you want to share, if you just want to stand in there and be in the background on Zoom and just intake things. Like I said, you can even listen while you're at work, plug your headphones in. You don't need to show up visibly. You can show up, and yeah. Anyway, if you want the link, if you want to join me, feel free to message me. I'm going to do these consistently, mostly consistency. And this is my thing, is that my life flows, and some days are good and some days are bad, and time happens. So I'm going to commit to Thursday mornings at some point. Every Thursday morning at some point, I'm opening up space. So follow along, and I would love to invite you, if you're interested, to join me. Have a beautiful day. We'll talk soon.